Hello everyone, it's me Pavlo, and today we'll be talking about recently released FiiO M23. And actually everyone calls this model as middle segment. Despite of pretty high price, $700, it probably can be considered as middle segment compared to higher models with 5 and 7 at the end. And with the release of this model, we can finally build the whole FiiO lineup of players. So the most affordable budget offers will end with letter 1. So far it's FiiO M11 with price about $500, but most likely in some near future we'll see M21. So then goes M23 at $700. Then M15, it was updated, so I don't think that M25 will come really soon, but it's about $1,000 price segment. And we have M17, which is still pretty great at its place, but if I remember right, FiiO's plans by the end of the year we'll see M27, some updated flagship player. But today we'll be talking about M23, and basically, of course, it's a successor of models that in the past were called M11 Pro and M11 Plus. So that above the $500 segment. So what we're having here, it's a player that still shares similar design to the previous Plus versions, but it uses modern Asahi Kasei 4499EX, same as we've seen in FiiO's Q15 portable digital to-analog converter, THX AAA 78 Plus amplifiers, Android with FiiO's recent additions, their own audio cores that allows them bypass resampler and mixture. Also they've added global system-wide parametric equalizer and will continue this work in the future as far as I understand. And all that hardware gives us, if I remember right, about 500 milliwatts for 32 ohms load for the balanced output. But here they also added their signature desktop mode. Actually, they're adding desktop mode everywhere. And it means that it also has separate power input, and with this power input you can connect external quick charge adapter, and with it you can get up to 1000 milliwatts or just 1 watt of power. And combined with the new digital to-analog converter chip, it really promises a really good device with all modern features in a pretty compact case with 720p display. What else? If I remember right, 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of onboard memory. I've seen somewhere mentions of limited version in stainless steel case, but most probably it's something for the Chinese market only, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was some mistake for the previous versions. Not sure if it's a thing for the M23, but let's have a closer look and let's find out how this device fulfill all that promises. So let's do a quick unboxing. As you can see, just regular white cardboard with player's photo, not much information printed on the box. And inside of this sleeve we're getting black cardboard box, some quick start guide, then goes player itself. Underneath we're getting boxes with accessories, but actually not really much of accessories here. So short, actually not short, regular USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable and Type-A adapter. This tool to open SD card slot. manual, warranty card, and that's it. Anyways, thanks to FiiO for giving this silicone case. There is a leather case available for this player, as usual, as a third-party option, but in stock we're getting silicone case, which is also a pretty decent option to have. At least you can protect your player from scratches and other accidental damage. So let's get player out. And there are two versions as far as I remember, black one and silver one. So here it is. Nothing new in terms of design, just black panel with unusual vertical stripes, and that's it. And besides that, we've seen almost all that before. Hexagonal buttons, this carbon covered part that works as volume control, and here is on-off button with actually it's not circular, it's hexagonal LED indicator around it, so while it's booting. Also custom button, then 3 buttons to control playback, then desktop mode toggle on and off, and also hardware hold button. Not sure why player with Android needs that, but anyway, I think someone can find this feature useful. So touch panel is disabled, buttons disabled, so totally free to operate in pocket. 2 outputs on the top, regular 3.5mm line out, phone out, and coaxial out, and also Pentagon that works as headphones output and line output. On the bottom we have slot for micro SD cards. FiiO still uses this tray-like slot for the cards, and 2 USB. This one is regular, works as regular USB. You can actually use it for charging. It supports quick charge. And speaking about charge, you're getting about 10 hours for the single-ended output and about up to 9 hours from the balanced output, but it depends on the load and gain, so it can be a bit less. Also, it can be used to use this player as digital tonal converter, to connect external USB digital tonal converter, and so on and so forth. So all that features we already know about. And here is this separate power in desktop mode connector. You connect quick charge here, you activate this mode, and you getting this separate power supply without using the battery and with extra level of power. And on the front we having 720 screen, 440 by 720 if I remember right. Pretty nice, with good brightness, nice viewing angles. So nothing stellar, but pretty okay screen. Bezels are narrow, so that's another positive side of this player. Feels pretty solid in hand, and actually it's pretty good. And this thing works similar to what it was, if I remember right, it was M11 Pro, so you can use it as buttons up and down, and you can use it as slider. And also there is a separate locking, so you can change the settings. You can select locking. If you select lock, after a few seconds it won't work. To unlock you need to double tap it, and then you can swipe up and down. Also you can tap up and down here to change volume at top and the bottom. You can select also mode when you swipe and hold. and it will be lowering, and you can swipe and hold, it will be rising. All that can be changed somewhere in the settings. If I remember right, it's maybe in the display, lock screen indicator, dark theme, font size, no, actually not here, global, system navigation, multifunction button. What should it do? Actually, you can see that now multifunction button can do a lot of things, so FiiO added a lot of different options. And some why it's here. So actually, if I started doing that, let's do a regular firmware walkthrough. So basically it's Android, and FiiO said that they will update their players to Android 12 in some point of in future when they stabilize Android 12. So probably this player will also receive this support. And actually, basically it's Android, you have Google Play Store, you can install all streaming services. I use Apple Music pretty well and without any issues. It works pretty nicely. Inside there is a Snapdragon chipset, so not super fast, but definitely enough speed for modern applications. Unless you want like play some games and download torrents at the same time, or do something like that. You're getting the most recent version of FiiO Music, of course, and I won't be doing a walkthrough. It's a player with tons of features. I already told about it many times, and that's not that interesting. But there are few additions by FiiO, and probably the most interesting one is Global System-Wide Equalizer. It's pretty fresh, they've added it recently, you can change it, and it works both as regular linear equalizer and at the same time as a parametric equalizer. So you can swipe up and down, or you can hold here and change the settings as you do with parametric equalizer. You can change the different controls here and see the results. But let's reset here. And also FiiO added some if effects. There is a compressor to additionally compress the sound. You can change here channel balance, you can boost bass and treble, and also use this stereo expander. Sounds a bit artificial, but actually with some tracks works pretty decent. And here are the settings. As usual for FiiO players, you can select one of few modes. So Android mode, it's the one we are in. In the pure music mode, some background services will be stopped, and you won't be able to exit the FiiO player. Also USB digital to analog converter mode, Bluetooth receiver, and AirPlay receiver mode. Then Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, no, not interesting. So in the audio, you can select 3.5 and 4.4 millimeter outputs, phone out or line out, SPDIF out, DSD over PCM or DSD to PCM. Gain, there are 3 gain levels, but also you can activate additional with external power. Low pass filters, you can see there are a lot of filters and all of them have explanatory picture. Then Bluetooth audio encoder, which one you want to utilize. Then for the LDAC and LHDC, what you want quality or better connectivity. Bluetooth volume control, channel balance, upsample all to DSDs, should line out has adjustable volume. And hi-fi boost mode, it's like, if I understood right, it's additional power. So higher output power in the battery mode. So you can see that you pay sacrificing battery for getting better sound quality. Actually, I did test it. I didn't found some significant results. It sounds like just additional gain. In the display settings, you can select sample rate display, and Other things are like pretty familiar. You can here disable indicator light also. As you can see, different settings are hidden in different menus: system navigation, multifunction button, power off timer, sleep, and others. In vehicle mode, when you connect it to your car electric system, it can start with engine and shut down automatically. Then you can select hold switch settings, and here is the volume touch panel settings. Here they are. I was looking for them. You can select touch sounds. It will give you that clicking sound. Not like I don't like it, but it's a matter of preferences. Then slide and hold for auto adjustment. That's what I said, that if you slide and hold, actually let me do it. Slide and hold, you can see that it starts changing. You can disable it. Then auto lock after an activity, that thing for double tap, and you can absolutely disable it, and then you can ignore it, and it will work just as an up down buttons, and it can be also option for that. So you can select different options here. And the volume settings should be memorized, and that's it. And some why they put room receiver mode here. A bit of hidden options, but anyway. In general, as you can see, in terms of controls, in terms of design, in terms of firmware, it's everything is pretty familiar. We've seen this many times before, and I think it's pretty good. So if you used to FiiO players, with this one you will feel yourself as at home. Speaking about the sound, actually it's great, you know, and I can finish here and can stop this review here, but of course everyone wants to hear my charming voice for some more time, but I'll try to be brief. So actually FiiO took good components and put them all together in a great way, and that, like, you know, combinations that are coming great together. I don't know, like peanut butter and jelly or something similar. We have a lot of such combinations, like chocolate and coffee, and so on and so forth. Of course, tastes differ, and anyway. So here we have really good digital tonal converter chip, that Asahi Kasei 4499EX, and it has its own characteristics. It gives you really technical, but at the same time really musical signature, well refined, but at the same very technical, but at the same time not dry or analytical. And on top of that, FiiO added good amplification that actually gives you great control and gives this device a really great versatility, because it can drive virtually everything. Okay, not everything, but like huge variety of headphones. Basically, let's first talk about the sound a bit step by step, and then speak about the pairings and stuff. So bass is deep, it's well controlled, it's really good in terms of realism. It has a lot of that nuances and details. There is almost no highlight in low frequencies. There is no attempt to being to give additional punch like some FiiO devices does in the more affordable segment. Here you're getting precisely that amount of punch that is present in the record. And also it gives that necessary amount of weight, meaning that it won't sound warm or it won't sound dry, so basically really balanced. And it will do the maximum to unveil the character of your headphones here and the character of record. But at the same time, it's great in terms of saturation with small nuances and details, and because of that it sounds like even more impressive. It's universal in terms of genres and styles, but it sounds more impressive with something rich and well recorded. So, like, for example, Zitto by Musica Nuda, that big resonating deck of double bass, that sense of moving strings and that sound and all that things are really great here, and that sounds really natural. And second example, it's Pink Floyd, Money. Here we having bass guitar. It's not highlighted, but it's one of the most famous bass lines in the history of rock music, and it's represented in a natural but at the same time technical way that allows you to hear all that small nuances. Mid frequencies are really musical, but it's not that type of musical that, for example, some R2R players produce, or some manufacturers does when they want to make so-called analog sound. There is no additional warmth, there is no smoothing, but you're getting really good technicalities, you're getting a lot of small nuances, but at the same time main focus is made on the emotions, on the dynamics, and on the overall representation of the whole track. So it's not probably a player for the critical listening. Actually, you can use it for this purpose, but you need to focus on that. It's not for those who need like that absolutely dead natural monitoring representation, because here you'll get a boost of emotions and you'll get that fluidity in sound that is engaging and really pleasant. It will boost emotions in vocal. Sometimes it will improve staging. It will move vocals forward to you. In some cases, with some tracks, it highlights instrumental part. So staging is also done really well. It's pretty spacious, not like huge or super holographic, but everything is positioned really well, and also that depth layers are transitioning one into each other in a really natural and engaging manner. And it's not super critical for the quality of records, but definitely better material will be good here. It won't highlight that issues but of the record, but with this player you want to get better material to unveil the full potential. It's interesting to play with different remasters. It's interesting to listen to some different releases of albums when they were remastered, remixed, or something like that. So let's get some examples. First one is Robert Plant, Dreamland, track named Hey Joe, unusual version of famous track. Pretty, I'd probably say that it's pretty trippy, and Plant vocal here is really energetic, and this player boosts that. So that sounds really interesting, really forward in terms of emotions, and you're getting that extra layer of additional forwardness here in the vocals that I mentioned previously. So this track sounds absolutely not natural, but really forward. But actually it's recorded this way, so if it sounds natural, then probably it's something wrong with the source. And another example of really emotional record, but this time is female vocal, and female vocals here sound even better than male ones. It's Leïla Martel, Left Alone. Tons of small nuances, tons of small details in the vocal, and you just dive here and you being immersed into this charming voice. And especially when you got some really good earphones, that also really plays well with such records. And the treble, one of the strongest parts, like all that before we were not the strong parts, but now we're coming to the strong ones. So I'm kidding, of course. Treble is also really well balanced. It's not sharp, it's not analytical, it's not for those who need like that energetic highlighted treble, but at the same time it's not softened, it's not relaxed. It has really good extension, really, in the past, treble was the best way to distinguish like mid-segment players and some top of the lines. But now this this gap becomes narrower and narrower, and we're getting better and better treble performance thanks to good chips, thanks to companies that utilize them in the more affordable segment. Like here, you're getting really saturated, rich layered treble with great extension and really proper amount of energy. It won't be softened, and at the same time it won't be forward, so basically absolutely where they should be, where they should belong, and that means that you're getting nice amount of naturalness, that great overtones, that sense of room where it was recorded. Compared to flagship models, still you can hear the difference in the layering, but you'll need some really critical A/B listening and comparison sessions to distinguish it. And examples. So Hans Zimmer Mountains from the Interstellar OST. I often pick this track, and it starts with that sound ticking. It's probably some kind of metronome. For me, it reminds of water drops sometimes, and it slowly develops. This track slowly develops to that orchestral crescendo, and that sounds really amazing with a lot of instruments going to the treble area, and this player really skillfully unveil that trails of that instrument, giving you great layering and showcasing why this layering is necessary. And second example, it's Macy Gray, Nothing Else Matters from the Rock Reimagined, just pure audiophiliac record with lot of things goes to the treble area, and this player deliver it in a really nice and engaging manner, so giving you a nice and technical treble. So to summarize everything, it's technical, but at the same time not focused on this technicality. It's detailed but not focused on the micro contrast. It's musical but not softened. It's dynamic but not overdone. It's emotional but not overdoing that. Really good, balanced and mature sound. In terms of pairings, it's a pretty universal device. So really low background noise, almost absolutely quiet, especially if you won't boost gain higher than necessary. It's not that device where you need to switch gain to highest possible option. No, I suggest you start with lowest possible gain, and then if there won't be enough volume, you can switch to next levels, but try to keep gain here as low as possible, because it offers really great dynamics even on the low gain, and there is no need to go to that ultra high gains unless your headphones need that. And on the other hand, up to 1 watt of power will be enough for even high impedance models. It will drive a lot of planars without any problems. Of course, not that models that created purely for desktop devices, but even with models like Mesa Empyrean and Elite, I listened it with great pleasure and without big problems power-wise, without any problems power-wise, not only big, but either small or any other problems. Speaking about the comparisons, actually, probably the main competitor here is Hybe R6 Pro 2, and the difference is pretty obvious and comes from the amplification. Highbeam made their bet on more refined, more focused on small nuances sound, where while here you're getting more power, more amplification, and slightly better dynamics. So I'd say that Highbeam is a bit more refined, while this one is a bit more emotional. Difference actually is not huge. Of course, if we don't speaking about some full-size headphones that requires tons of power, but comparing on the some in-ear monitors, they are pretty close in terms of sound, with that slight difference. And actually FiiO Q15 has pretty similar signature, but here you're getting more better controlled low frequencies, and because of that bass sounds a bit more palpable, bit more saturated, and bit more present. And the FiiO K9 AKM that I reviewed recently, it's more dynamic, more emotional, with even better defined treble. Despite of using similar digital tonal converter, it has even better amplification, so that gives it benefits. So simply speaking, FiiO M23 is a great offer if you're looking for the universal sound, if you're looking for the universal device, if you want extra features like software features or additional modes that it delivers. It's good in terms of controls, it's good in terms of design. Probably I'd like to see something new, but from another hand, why change what works here? Great sound, pretty solid price, so really recommend you this device. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a great day.